Welcome to this completely unbiased and wildly chaotic video featuring Grand Theft Auto 5. The following content may include reckless driving, criminal behavior, bad decisions, loud explosions, and the destruction of digital property. During these videos, I may also talk about pop culture, internet nonsense, celebrities, movies, games, and people in the chat. Any jokes, sarcasm, exaggerations, or insults directed at public figures, fictional characters, corporations, trends, or anything else are clearly comedic commentary and opinion, and are not statements of fact nor representations of my real-life views or beliefs. This video is purely entertainment. Everything shown happens inside a video game, where the laws of physics, morality, traffic, and safety are optional. No real crimes were committed in the making of this video. No real people were harmed. No real allegations are being made about anyone living or dead. In fact, if this sounds ridiculous, guess what? You guessed it, it probably is. If you are easily offended, allergic to sarcasm, or have a hard time placing your personal biases aside, feel free to leave now. I'm just being unbiased, y'all. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
If you're going to be watching the videos that I put up, you're going to notice a pattern. I'm just warning you now, because there's only a few heists on GTA 5 that I actually like to run, and CAYO PERICO is one of them. So if you notice that I'm doing similar things when you're watching these videos, is because I'm playing my favorite heist. At this time, I have it down packed. Now, there are some things that pop up from time to time that may cause restrictions. Most of them are user errors. But yeah, I really like this heist. So when I'm doing certain things, you'll notice the pattern. So therefore, as you're listening to these videos, I really want you to focus on the message, not the man. That's why I'm unbiased. That's why I do similar things. So you can see different variations of what I got going on, but it won't be the same heist every time. It's sort of like a stage play. And let me break this down real quick for you all. I love theater as opposed to movies, because theater in general, you'll never see the same show twice. You could go to the same production over and over, but it will never be the same show twice, because there's going to be so many different things that are going to cause the players on stage to react and act differently. And it could be something as small as the capacity of the crowd, or who could possibly be in the crowd for the players. That could cause the show to be different. With movies, it's going to be the same exact thing every time you watch it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That's why we love the consistency of film. It's just that theater is just so beautiful, especially when it's live theater. That's the beauty of live theater, man. When you have all of these different factors that could play into the stage performance not being as great, but they still deliver something that is the same yet different. It's the same animal but a different beast every single night. Shout out to Kobe. So yeah, I wanted to let y'all know that ahead of time, because I like playing CAYO, and that's when I get the bulk of my very, very unique standards and opinions. So I want to kind of give this heist a little bit of flavor. So whenever I'm doing it, it'll give me a chance to kind of flex my muscles a little bit, especially my creative muscles. There's different types of primary loot that you can get throughout their gameplay. And there's one that is more common than the others, and that's going to be the tequila. Have you ever felt you ever want tequila? Did you mix those emotions with tequila? Shout out, yay, man, we miss Kanye. But yeah, so I like the fact that you can get that over and over, but then it gives me a chance to actually spice it up a little bit, especially with the type of things that I'll be talking about and the way that I'll be delivering these things. Hold on, let me lock in real quick. I'm over here talking to y'all, and I'm not locking in. There it goes. All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. There we go. All right, cool. Oh yeah, so we can switch up and change up the way that I deliver certain things based on what the primary loot is gonna be. You see where I'm going with this? Because you can get the tequila, you can get bear bonds or the ruby necklace, and then the ultimate prize would be, of course, the pink diamond. And on certain very, very rare occasions, they'll have the Black Panther statue available to be looted. So yeah, I think that maybe we should set some kind of standards for when I'm running CAYO. That way y'all can know what type of video you're walking into based on the primary loot that you see on the screen. All right, so I don't even got to tell you. You'll just be like, okay, what is he going for this time? Okay, I can kind of know how he's coming on this episode. Alright. So how should we do this? Leave it in the comments below, because as I develop these thoughts, this is going to be the first time that I do a video like this, and I'm hoping that we can implement a video like this into our standard of doing things. So for example, right now I'm just freestyling. Now let me tell y'all the difference between freestyling and off the dome when it comes to not only just extemporaneous speaking, but also when it comes to being lyrical and rapping as well. When it comes to freestyling, you're just giving somebody your style for free. However you want to chop it up in any variation. It could be something that you've practiced but haven't written down yet, but it's got to be something that's your style for the free, you know? So nothing that you've been paid to spit, nothing that you've gotten money for. That's a freestyle, and it's all in the name, right? That makes it very, very easy for you all, right? So there's no question about what a freestyle can be when we talk about definitions, because this new age way of doing things, people are starting to call freestyling off of the dome. Now, off of the dome was always something that blurred the lines between what it meant to be lyrical, and I get what y'all are getting at. Trust me, I am not one of those people that is one of those high and mighty absolutist or elitist when it comes to lyricism, and even when it comes to speaking. Yo, I know what y'all are trying to say. You're just completely wrong. And if you ain't got a scenario where something's broke, then don't try to fix it. Okay? When we said freestyling was freestyling, leave it there. Leave it alone. Why are we over here putting all kind of different technical definitions on it so other people can exist? That's phooey. All right? It's phooey. This off the dome terminology came into play when people started punching in. That's the punching culture of rap, is where this off the dome, I call it a sub definition. Came into play. Yeah. I'm not going to acknowledge it as the official definition of spitting lyrics, freestyling. See what I'm saying? Like, I can't even say it's freestyling, damn it. It's freestyling. So, off the dome came about when people started punching in. And punch in rap is when people just go in the booth and just start saying whatever the fuck is on their mind. They punching in. They putting in work is the best way to put it. If you don't understand the term, why they call it punching in. When you're on the clock back in the day, you would have a time card, and you have a punch card that you would just punch in so you can punch in the work. Do you punch in nowadays? Probably not. You'll probably just tap in. But yeah, that's the terminology that they're coming with. And punch in rap isn't necessarily terrible. There's some people that, man, when they punch in, they punch in. Do I need to give you all examples? Nah, I won't. But yeah, punching in, it can be beneficial, and it has its place in modern hip hop. But when we talk about freestyling and going off of the dome, those are two different things in my opinion, because now you are saying that freestyling is something that can be written, you're just spitting. No, absolutely not. You're not going to give me off the dome, which is just just slang for freestyling. Like I said, a sub definition for freestyling. And then replace my beloved word of freestyling by saying, oh, a freestyling can be something that's written. No, a freestyle cannot be written. If it's written, then I ain't gonna be smitten, okay? A freestyle is your style for free. So all of the newcomers that are out here freestyling, look, I get it, yo. It makes it easier to be like, well, man, if it's off the dome, then, that's just me just punching in. But freestyling, man, it could just be something I wrote. I just found a beat I wanted to put it on. No, that's not freestyling, bro, because it's not, man. If I gotta break this down like a fraction for you all, I will, but I don't feel like it. Go with me, somebody go with me. Ah! My bad, just wicked games. Anyway, yeah, if I gotta explain this to you all over and over, I will. Then they put me all the way over here. Anyway, but yeah, freestyling and off the dome are not the same thing. Off the dome is a sub definition. And when I'm speaking on different topics, I want to give you all different forms of structure. So for example, if I'm just freestyling on a topic and y'all like, damn man, I want you to elaborate on that a little bit more, maybe I can put together a different form of delivering to you. Like maybe I'll do actual research, bring y'all actual topics. But the thing I'm not interested in while I'm doing a freestyle is having to present all of the facts and the evidence and where did you get that from? What do you mean by that? I gave y'all a disclaimer for a reason in the first place, okay? I will refer you every single time to the disclaimer. Because I think that it's important for y'all to know that the different forms of videos that I'm going to be trying to do on this specific channel. Wait a second. Do or do not. There is no try. My bad, Yoda. The different types of videos that I'm going to be doing on this channel are going to involve a certain level of levity, first of all, and then it's also going to require a certain level of knowledge. That means we're going to have to peel back the layers on certain topics because, like I told y'all in the first video, a lot of these people have gotten the one up on me and they had the leg up because I've waited so long to get going. So it's sort of like the conversation of the tortoise and the hare. The hare is ahead of us right now. The hare is ahead of us right now. And the reason why they're ahead of us right now is because they think that off the dome is freestyling. And freestyling is not off the dome. Okay? Yeah, they're employing modern day tactics. But the real will prevail. So back to what I was saying, and the main reason why we're breaking down the difference anyway in the first place is because the different types of primary loot, I don't really care about the secondary loot too much, but the different forms of primary loot could possibly dictate the type of stuff we'll be providing to y'all. So for example, I think when we get to tequila, I think we should do freestyle videos since that's the most common one anyway. That'll allow me to be able to produce more interesting conversations more frequently. If I got to take time to break stuff down and y'all actually need graphics for some of this stuff, it's gonna slow down the production rate. I think a common man can understand that. But if we freestyling every time we get to tequila, which is very often, then I think I can provide videos to y'all on a consistent basis. That don't mean, now listen, that don't mean we can abuse the fact that I've gotten tequila 7 times in a row. Now I would have to do some type of structure here and there. But I also don't plan to, even though it might end up happening. I don't plan to make this heist the main form of the ways I speak to y'all. I also plan on doing so many other things, and I'm sure by now y'all have seen different other cell missions and even different types of things that I like to do in this specific game. So let me stop. I'm swatting some stuff. So yeah, with the tequila, we're gonna do some freestyling. All right, no notes. If it's written, you ain't spitting. All right, so that means that I might have some things that I'm studying and thinking about, and you'll just more than likely get my live thoughts at that moment on certain things. Don't be afraid of the car. I told y'all I'm in the hood, y'all, so y'all can hear a lot of stuff. But if we're doing that type of stuff for the tequila, then that means that for the bear bonds and the ruby necklace, which are relatively around the same as far as value to me, I think we should do something a little bit more structured, but still keep it very, very flowy. So let's make it to where it's still freestyling, but it can be, I think y'all's version of off the dome, which y'all say off the dome is freestyling, which is not. It's whatever, man. But I think we should do some. You can use some notes. You can use notes. At least I can use some notes. That'd be fun because then we could really get to cooking on some stuff, man. I could actually be like, okay, cool. Y'all give me a moment or two, and then we'll really fire up the good old noggin. Do the noodle dance and give out what y'all been waiting on. But then there's also that top tier level of primary loot. And that, oh man, don't y'all hate when this happens, y'all? And I've done this before so many times. I know better. My bad. The pressure. Okay. So for the primary loot, there is a third tier that would require us getting that pink diamond. Now the pink diamond is really not been that rare for me either. It's actually, I could probably get the pink diamond at least once a week if I play the heist once a day. And even try to get hard mode once a day. If I can get hard mode, so that means I gotta play at least twice a day, I can get the pink diamond. But if we do get the pink diamond and we have the channel popping like we have it popping right now, might as well bless the people with a live, right? Let's go live. Now, I haven't gone live yet as of the recording of this video, and I'm not sure in what order I'll be putting out the videos I'm recording. I'm really just trying to give you all the chance to get as much information about being unbiased as possible. So that's going to come in many different forms and videos, and these videos probably could have been recorded months ago, and I'm just now dropping them today. And you, which more than likely you haven't heard of me, so you're gonna be going back in the archives, and I encourage that. Hold on real quick. Let me express that real quick. I appreciate the real ones that go back in the archives and check out what I be talking about, even if it got a little age on it. There's a lot of ageism in viewing videos that I just don't appreciate, y'all. I just can't stand it, man. I don't do it, but I can understand why other people do it, because they want the most recent information and most relevant topics to what's going on. So I get it, yo. You're gonna want to more than likely hear the most recent video. And even if my most recent video is a month or two old, or maybe even 3 years old by the time you're hearing this, you might be like, well, nah, that's probably not even relevant anymore. But I guarantee you, since you press play, you a real one. You knew that everything else you've heard up until this point provides you with an understanding that, man, no matter what time I hear Unbiased voice, it's gonna be relevant information. Shout out to you. Nah, for real, shout out to you. You are legitimately the reason why I'm doing this. Did you know that? Nah, for real, you're legitimately that type of person, and you're the reason why I'm doing it. That's why I don't want to just be going live with these videos. Now, we will be if we get the pink diamond, but yeah, the people that dive back into the archives, I really, really rock with y'all, because y'all are the reason why I even started listening and making podcasts. Yeah, I was a big fan of diving into the archive. I'm like if you are a fan of hip hop, then hip hop, then you know that you know the crate divers. I'm one of those people. I'm a crate diver. But I'm a crate diver when it comes to podcast, YouTube videos, even certain shows that people might not rock with. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the obscure. A big fan of the obscure, and I believe that stems from my, I just like rare things. I'm a big fan of limited edition rare things. The reason why that is because I've never really been a fan of trends. Picture a salmon swimming upstream. That's unbiased. That's unbiased. Not only should I not be doing this, but I'm built for this. And I'm probably going to be the only one that can do it. But you know what's wild? I think about that. Like, how do certain animals or certain beings know their way? No, that's not in the game. Yeah, I told you I'm in the hood. That's them people. Yeah, how do certain beings know their way? How do they know, okay, cool, I should probably swim upstream. I'm clearly built for this. There's got to be something that is innate about understanding your purpose. That's why I'm going to talk more about being unbiased, because it's not common and it's not something that is innate to all people. Shit, it wasn't even innate to me. Before I started being unbiased online, man, I was letting a lot of people's opinions and understanding on things get to me. And it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. I was wrong for that. But the reason why I was doing that is because, man, there's no rule book on being on the internet, especially when it first came out. Oh, nah, man. The internet before advertising and all of that, it was like the Wild Wild West for real. Before influencers and marketing, before the invasion of haters, oh man, the internet was a place that was out of the norm. It was a sandbox, a virtual sandbox that none of us could have predicted the impact that it's provided. But now that we have these types of forms of systems and forms of communications, that's why I'm trying to develop them. I think I just saw a dolphin. That's cool. Oh shit. Now that we have these different types of communications, I want to be able to utilize them effectively, and especially with the soon great migration of everybody over to possibly GTA 6 online. I want y'all to watch the growth as well. It'd be fun to grow together, and y'all be like, "Yeah, I remember watching him when he was doing GTA 5. Man, that was almost 45 years ago." But yeah, I want y'all to watch the growth as well, so we could actually have an amazing time being able to see like where to now. That's what the type of time that I'm on lately is. Where to now? I don't want to be hindered by anybody's marginalization. So that's why I'm giving y'all these thoughts, because the reason why I'm really telling y'all this stuff is because I've already made up my mind. I'm just sharing with y'all. So the idea of going live has been on my mind for a while, even before I had decided to remove all of the videos beforehand and start up something new. It had been on my mind. How am I going to make the most out of this unbiased standard? And it's going to have to be practicing it in real time, on and offline. I'm a big fan of being unbiased offline now too. My personal biases are my personal biases, but they're like a personal computer. Now everybody has access to them. But being unbiased, even offline with the average person, has just worked wonders for my mentality, man. I don't have to develop personal stock into anybody's opinions or standards, man. Like that's you. Do you, loved one. Like I'm not here to even wreck that up, because I think a lot of times what we do, man, we hear somebody standing on something, and at first, especially if we respect them, we're in disbelief. We're like, wow, you on that type of timing? But if you're like me, you'll almost exhaust yourself trying to let cooler heads prevail in scenarios. But I have long since been off that type of timing, man. I let things be what they're gonna be, and also on top of letting things be what they're gonna be, I am radically accepting people's standards. That's your standard. What is going on, man? Come on, the gang got to catch up to my way of doing things. Sometimes, you'll do something too fast or not in the way they intended you to do it, and it's like, man, you gotta wait. But anyway, oh my gosh, I messed up. But anyway, yeah, sometimes it's not that you're not right now; it's just not right now. So allow people to be what they're gonna be, living their echo chambers if they must, but do no harm and take no shit. That's the best advice I can give you. Especially when it comes to living amongst the people, man. Being unbiased has changed my life. That's why I want to show y'all, maybe in real time by going live when we get the pink diamond, how to practice being unbiased online, especially on this game. I'm not sure what we'll talk about. Not sure what we're going to get into. Those lives will probably be a combination of all the things that we'll be learning throughout the video making process, which is a little combination of freestyling, a little bit of off the dome. Maybe I'll even, put together some graphics. It'll be a good chance to learn too, because I've seen other people gaming, and everybody has their different way of gaming. Especially when you talk about going live, everybody has their way of doing things and making videos. So shout out to y'all, especially with this creative space on different platforms that you can post. Man, it's almost unlimited if you know what you're doing. But I didn't grow up doing certain things like this. As a matter of fact, I also decided to put my skills into other things. I'm learning this very, very late in the creative game, but that don't mean that I'm not willing to learn. Like, shit, man, if you ain't learning, you ain't earning. As far as I'm concerned. So these are all opportunities. Look, like even now, I'm talking about some man, why is it gotta rain? Damn, I hate it when it rains. So this is a game they hate it on. Anyway, yeah. I don't know why it gotta happen now, but yeah. So when I'm making this stuff, man, like I said, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm giving y'all the clarity of why you're hearing certain things happen the way they are. So with all of that out the way, let me go ahead and freestyle something for y'all on this. And let's freestyle the topic. And I don't plan on getting it right the first time. That's why we have these different structures of videos. Look, the beauty of it right there in real time. All right. So let me continue on what I was just talking about, because I think that's a very, very cool topic to kind of wrap and put a bow on. The importance of being unbiased online. I wasn't always unbiased online. Up until 2018, I was bringing my personal biases to the web, and that's very, very dangerous, especially on apps that have parents and adults that don't see you on a regular basis. Not smart. Not smart. And back when it was Facebook, yeah, back when Facebook was really developing popularity, that's when all of the aunties and the uncles and the parents started signing up and making Facebook their new yearbooks. Which I love that for them, man. I'm glad they found some form of technology where they can relate to each other and be cool, because, man, shit, man, if I was older and I only saw my people at different types of reunions, I would love what's going on with Facebook and all those things too. But with that being said, it made different cultures, especially different ways of posting online, clash for the first time, man. Oh my goodness. We saw that recently, even with the whole scenario that happened in 2020, man. Like, these people didn't really know how to use Zoom that well, that generation. So even now, they're like, is this thing on? They don't know how to work the camera. Send the link. It's as simple as clicking the link. But hey, we bless they heart. I just think it's wild, because when they started coming on those apps, it really changed the way they viewed and perceived people, man. They didn't know how to necessarily blur the lines, if you will. They didn't know how to actually discern what was you just maybe even trolling online from what your actual beliefs and how you present yourself in real life. Yeah, man, I had personas and handles, on different apps, and I would actually post on, even, like I said, Facebook, for example. But once the adults got there, I realized, oh nah, man, I gotta separate something, man. I gotta figure out a new way to express myself. And that's why I developed this idea. And I hope that y'all capture this idea too, because it's very important for you to develop ideas like this. I figured, hey, there's certain people that love these different types of personalities and ways that I present myself online. And I don't necessarily want that to clash with who I am personally, because I'm different, man. I can separate the art from the artist, especially when it comes to your behavior online. If you're going under an alias, completely get it, because these aliases kind of protect you and your personal biases. Man, a lot of the stuff you see and post online, especially if you're not the one posting it, they're not going to be articulated the exact way that you want it to be articulated. Some stuff may be taken out of context. Some stuff may even be very, very offensive to people that don't necessarily even know that you think like that. So I get it, yo. But that's why I had to start developing let's call it alias, different pages, different forms of personalities that I could actually present my ways and viewpoints online, how I was feeling at the time. And that wasn't smart either, because a lot of that stuff I had to learn the hard way. Is that a nah, hold on. Yeah, I gotta get some rest, but nah. All right. So anyway, just finding different ways to present yourself online is very important, but utilizing your personal biases to express yourself and being like overkill with it, that's where it's gonna hurt you every single time. So when we developed the idea to do a podcast. Me and the homie that I was doing the original podcast with, we were like, yo, man, what are we gonna call this thing, man? Because when we were developing it, we were already working with this production company that wanted us to present our personal biases online. And we're like, bro, we don't want to do that. The things that we talk about, we don't want them to reflect our personal bias. We all got our personal favorite sports team or even our personal favorite hip hop artist or band. We can all live in our personal biases. But when you're coming online, especially when you want to connect with others, it's better to be impartial about things. It's better to be more rational about the way you're going to approach them. And you got to realize that they may not view them in the way that you may personally view them, whether it be an artist, a topic, of a movie. You get what I'm saying, even a person. So with that being said, a lot of times when we're expressing ourselves to people, man, especially online, man, it's best to be unbiased. And I learned that. I mentioned that earlier in this video. Your biases is almost like a personal computer. Are you going to let anybody and everybody just access a personal computer? Nah, like, these are my personal viewpoints, my family, my friends, the standards that I set in my household. They should mean more to me. I should be more focused on setting those than worrying about whether or not a stranger online, or even possibly now in the age that we're in, a robot online collecting data points. Yeah, you shouldn't be worrying about articulating yourself to those type of people and presenting your personal biases to them. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. But yeah, I think it's hella important that if you are going to try to be unbiased, especially on this channel, because that's all I really want to hear from, man. Like, I get it. You got your personal biases. Put them to the side when you're commenting, because we ain't trying to hear that shit over here. And I'll be the determiner of that. Yes, I'll be the determiner of all things unbiased until further notice. Until you tap in with your Lord and Savior and they tell you, yes, this is the unbiased way, I'll be the purveyor of all things unbiased. And with that being said, like I said, I'm gonna curate this shit, man, and make sure that how we do it is as unbiased and as effective as possible, man. Because I've done things with my personal biases online that were ineffective, and they came back to bite me in the ass. Never fun to say something personal and want to garner sympathy and find out these people don't give a fuck about you online, man. You better just get how you live, pimp. Like, it's stupid as hell to be thinking that these people care about what's going on in your personal life in a virtual reality. Don't forget, this is virtual reality. There was a game early. I think it was on The Office, if I'm not mistaken. Dwight was playing it. It's called a Second Life or Half-Life or something like that. That's what we're learning about people now. They are developing these personalities I was talking about earlier, like these unbiased things that I'm trying to do. This is for online purposes only. This is not me trying to escape. This is not me trying to catfish y'all, because I believe in being unbiased even in my personal life. But I also need to make sure that you understand, in order to do that, you need to have solid standards. You need to have solid personal biases. That way, when you're venturing out into other understandings and belief systems, you're not compromising yourself. Yeah, so many people, if you don't have quality values originally, when you're going dabble in other things, you could end up being tainted and not being able to separate yourself from certain ideologies and standards because your goofy ass then went out here and played. And that's why I'm very, very sensitive to spiritual warfare. My bad, y'all. I was trying to listen to Papa. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Anyway, yeah, I'm very sensitive to spiritual warfare because, man, I understand what comes with going and learning about things that you don't necessarily believe in. That's what helps me be unbiased, man. I know what I'm not. That's how I can develop who I am. I know what I'm not about. And the list of what I'm not about, man, oh man, every single day, it helps to add something new to it. So how do I add something new to it? I gotta learn. I gotta develop a better understanding of life. And how do I do that? I gotta get outside of my echo chambers, man. And it's so difficult to do that nowadays because before algorithms and ads and sponsorships and influencers came into the play, there wasn't so many ways to get caught up in echo chambers. You would see, first of all, you would see the people that were around you and the people you actually knew on your fucking timeline. That used to be a thing. Nowadays, it's very, very difficult to see somebody that you actually know on your timeline unless you're curating it, like blocking certain ads and also following them personally. It's very difficult, but you'll find a way. I'm sure you will. You'll just allow the algorithm to algorithm. But with that being said, once the algorithm start algorithm, you're gonna be sitting in your fucking timeline, and you're gonna be sitting on your timeline in echo chambers, looking at confirmation biases the entire time. I had to get rid of it. Even on my page on IG, I know a lot of y'all coming from IG and coming from probably Clubhouse, and more than likely y'all coming from other people's YouTubes, and y'all have seen the way I talked on there and presented and promoted on there. It's those algorithms, man. They are very, very difficult to shake. And you could be on there. I know for a fact, man, I don't even look at certain things, but they still pop up on my timeline. And it's not even about like certain, naughty things. It's also about certain types of quote unquote content. Certain ways people speak, man, that stuff leaks and bleeds into yourself, and whether you know it or not, subconsciously you are digesting a lot of these things, man. And I just don't want that. I didn't want that to happen to y'all. I don't want that to happen to me. That's why I'm doing my best to make sure y'all know ahead of time what type of bullshit I'm on or what type of real shit I'm on before you clean your feet up at the door. So if you tap into a video and you see the tequila, you're like, all right, man, I'm not into hearing him freestyle today. I'd rather come back when he's actually developed his thoughts on something. Let me wait for the bear bond so he can have some notes. Let me wait for the ruby necklace so he can be, spitting with some notes. Or, you know what? I just wait till Brody go live. And then also, like I said, that's not going to be the only determining factor on how we make videos, because this ain't the only heist or type of money I make on this. But I also know I do this the most. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I think that making this go the way I'm talking about right now is going to be fun for everybody, man. I don't know if I got to be quiet or not. I don't know if they can actually hear me. He can talk, but I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all. When I first said I was gonna do, oh wow, yeah, don't look, I'm glitching. Don't look at me. But yeah, I don't know specifically, like I said, where y'all are coming from or when you first started following me. There's a lot of people that have been following me since my early Twitter days from 2009. When we were beta testing that thing like that. Now, if you've been here that long, shout out to you. This is based on screen. That's cool. Because if you've been here that long, then you know that I've reinvented myself a lot of times, man. And shout out to you, because if you've been here throughout these many variations of myself, then you clearly are a real one. That's what I call anybody. I don't call y'all fans, man. Y'all are real ones, bro. And that's why I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna try my best not to solicit a bunch of comments or for y'all to subscribe, and every single time y'all might put it on the screen, but I'm not gonna sit up here and solicit that stuff every single time I'm talking to y'all, bro. Like, you're a real one. If you rock with what I'm saying, you're gonna just press the button. You just gonna tap it, bro. It's not even gonna be a question. So I just gotta be patient, and then maybe you'll just bless me with one. You know what I'm saying? That'd be awesome. I'm not begging for it, I'll tell you that much. Let me lock in real quick, y'all. My bad. My bad, y'all. I'm just like I said, these videos are gonna be fun to watch, like, on the replay, because you was like, damn, like I was on that. That's fun. All right, I'm fucking up somewhere in here. I'm messing up. All right, let's try it again. So I'm supposed to be doing it to just like the clone target over there, right? So the trick is to start at 1 every single time. So we'll start at 1, then you go 2. All right, 2, 3, right? 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then boom. Get it now? All right, cool. So if y'all see me mess up, say something. Damn. But I guess that would be the door effect, right? Because I can't hear y'all. But yeah, like that's what I'm trying to do. Every time y'all see this screen come up, y'all be like, oh shit, here we go. The print clone. And you know what's difficult about that is it's not that I can't do the pattern. I've done it probably 1,000 times at this point. It's talking and doing it that's messing me up. I don't know what it is, yo. I'm trying my best, but this shit is difficult. There it is. The tequila. The tequila. So if you see this screen, then you're a real one because you made it to the point where I am actually getting to the primary target. It's the Sensamito tequila. This is the lowest value that you can get for the primary target. It's the most common one you can get. So that's why I'm setting it up the way I'm setting it up. Now, all my freestyles are not sloppy. As y'all can see, I might ramble a little bit here and there, but I'm thinking that if we do more freestyle videos, it'll help me develop exactly what we're doing on this channel. And also, you can get more current events. That's what I've heard a lot of people tell me they would like to hear me speak on. It's just current events. Now, that's my thing. When it comes to current events, I'm not really interested in reviewing other people's videos, talking about people's relationships. Now, I believe that you can learn how to do anything, even how not to do something from people. So there are certain examples, even from popular culture, that we can extrapolate from people's lives and the way they're moving. But I don't want that to be the main focus of what we're doing here. I really, really want to talk more about being unbiased and giving some kudos to the good kids or the good guys and the good girls and the good others. I feel like they really don't get a lot of acknowledgement or enough, if that. It's fucking frustrating to pop up on the news and hear nothing but the blues. Ain't nothing on the news but the blues. And so when it comes to us, I would really like to acknowledge more what's going right than what's going wrong. And if we are addressing something that's going wrong, I would really love for it to be something that we can that can help us be more unbiased about the topic at hand. Because there are people that get, I don't know if it's coordinated or not, but do y'all know, y'all do realize, and let me say something to these reaction channels real quick. Y'all do realize that when y'all all use the same clips, whether y'all are in the same group chat or not, that shit look coordinated and like a fucking hit piece. Y'all do realize that, right? Y'all do realize that at some point when everybody uses the same exact clock video or IG reel, when you do realize when everybody uses the same ones over and over, it looks like a hit piece. It looks like a smear campaign. Expand your horizons, everybody. There's more than 15 videos or shit, even in y'all's cases, 2 to 3 videos on the fucking interweb speaking about whatever topic it is you're trying to express your opinions on. For real, it looks wild sometimes, y'all. And it's people that got I actually think some of these people be credible in my opinions. But when y'all all use the same videos to make your points, it becomes a very, very moot point. It becomes like you're beating a dead or even dying horse at this point. It's annoying. So if I do get to talking and reacting to certain things, I would like to keep other people's faces and audios off of this specific channel, but we'll see how it works, because I also need to make sure that I'm poignant with my points. 11 minutes is very, very slow for a CAYO. But yeah, if we can get it done, then we'll be as effective as we can just by speaking on it, because I'm sure by the time I speak on it, y'all have already heard about it, and more than likely have heard is at least the original content I'm speaking on once or twice. I just want to put a bow on it when I get to speaking on it. I don't want to have to keep on talking about it over and over again and just harping on these things, because it makes me either money if once we get monetized, or because it makes me feel good. Like, there's a lot of this stuff that people are talking and spewing to y'all. The only reason they keep on talking about this shit is because it gets them the most views on the channel and it makes them money. They don't necessarily even identify with it. They don't even offer solutions to the problem. That's what annoys me the most. Let's get to the damn solutions, man. I'm a solution-based thinker. You get me? But yeah, that was another CAYO. Fuck with your boy. Peace.